My mother often told me not to let others walk all over me and to keep my head up.
Here. This is what is happening with the world of work and salaried employment through excessive work and forgetting mental and physical well-being. Work should not be an oppressive activity but an activity of intellectual pleasure and individual progress, and not an activity of survival suffered in a pessimistic way. It is true that the world of salaried employment has become an unhealthy way of life compared to human progress and the many possibilities of life that progress offers. I'm not opposed to AI, but its current use has a negative and stupid aspect, but I will develop this subject another time.
When you are comfortable with yourself and have confidence in yourself, you go beyond social codes.
Today, and unfortunately, there are still people who do not assume their words on social networks and who do not measure the consequences of their actions. We have social drifts in politics, digital and visual prostitution, radical feminism, exploitation of children by their parents, and many others of a financial and humanitarian nature. All these elements are signs of progressive pessimism and human misguidance that are defined by excessive consumption and increasingly poor communication.
I too knew how to sing, dance and play comedy when I was a child and at a very young age before adolescence, except that my parents never tried to take advantage of my abilities. On the contrary, they protected me, especially my mother. In addition, apart from the difficulties, I had a balanced childhood. I don't condemn prostitution, but it is not constructive for the situation of women. It is not intellectually beneficial to the situation of women and to society. Globally and totally. Prostitution is the financial dependence of an unhealthy and inhuman patriarchy. This same unhealthy patriarchy that indirectly encourages moral harassment against women and all the unimaginable and possible abuses.
I consider that the human body is a pure part of nature, and that considering it as a commodity is monstrous and dehumanizing both mentally and ideologically. I think that this subject should really be part of public debates, and very seriously.
I remind you that the Internet, social networks, and all technological media spaces are stored, encrypted, saved by legal and state-approved companies. To put it simply, the Internet is not a game. Every action has its importance. I know that I have a strong character. I know that I sometimes have harsh words, but it is the reality of our world that forges our personalities a little. The world has gradually settled into a destructive mentality, and it is now time to ask ourselves the right questions to avoid human and futuristic catastrophe in the long term. All the human problems we have today already existed in the past and in the first societies of all humanity.
Everyone today is fighting against an ancient evil, ancient sufferings that have never been resolved or abolished. An evil that is defined by inhumanity.
All generations before us have fought against mental isolation, barbarism, human pessimism, misery, abuse of power, crime, madness, contempt for women, misery at work. All have fought collectively and in their own ways to give us a better world, and show us the way to reach a just world and justice aligned with human ideas and with each one. This podcast was short, but the important thing is to understand where we are going, and what we are humanly committed to on a planetary scale. Thank you.